So as a way of like, I've got two things I want to say, right? And the first is, I watched The Greatest Showman the other day.
Oh,
All right, I
nice.
watched it for the first
I didn't
time.
expect you to be a musical theatre buff
Hannah, let me tell you, all right, there's
with shattering stereotypes over
that's all
here.
we do on this podcast,
That's
man.
what we do.
So I watched it the other day, right? And I'm not you can do some like shock surprise things on the screen ad. Yeah, thank you, man. I'm not a massive amazing, amazing. I'm not a massive crier. I'm not right. I find as young men, it's not been taught and it's not been encouraged,
There was
and
no lesson
there
in
was no
crying, was
lesson in
there?
that. And so I think, it's something I've challenged and battled with as I've gotten older, just the acceptance that obviously I do feel things, and that's okay.
Mm.
So when I watched this Great Showman, I was in absolute pieces,
Oh,
man. I was like,
bless you. That's so
it
cute.
is such a,
Yes,
it is
cry! Come on,
such
boys,
a,
cry!
yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
great.
It's such a beautiful film, man. I was like, why is no one talking about this film anymore? Like, this is
Didn't
such
it
a
come out
great
like
film,
six
man.
years ago? It's
Yeah,
like
that's
old.
probably why. Yeah, I'm a bit late to the game, ain't I? But it was oh, the music, man. That's what I'm saying. The music caused such a immediate emotional response that like I couldn't
Mm.
actually explain. I sat here with my partner and she, are you all right? I was like, yeah, this music is just doing something to me, man, that I just can't explain. Um, when it's just like power, it's just like you get the goosebumps and you all feel a bit like, oh, what's going on here? That's how I felt, man. And it's such a hard
And
thing to.
that's is so important. And it's like sometimes, yeah, like because I as a woman, even I like haven't, been in touch with crying until recently.
For
But
sure.
sometimes you do need this, stimulus or push to like then so there's an emotional regulation part of music, and it's like this
Mm.
whole, body physical feeling. And it's like nice
Yeah.
to it goes to sort of show that it's like your brain cannot be thinking in the same way as it was if you're listening to music, because yeah, your brain is just this flurry of electrical signals bouncing about. And so if you then have different inputs, it's changing how your brain is firing,
For
it's
sure.
changing how you think. And that also paired with what music is also great for is like refining motor skills.
Mm.
Even if you're not a dancer, I am a person that says, if I don't dance in a day, it's a bad day. I'm a dance every day sort of person. But even if you're not, there's the rhythmic tapping
Yeah.
Mm.
of like your foot, like you're nodding your head, and that again is causing new firing patterns that
Mm.
associate with movement. And
Oh, it's so
movement is
interesting, man.
so important to process emotions
Yeah,
as
for
well.
For
sure.
sure.
For wellness and just sort of, I think, yeah. And it was just, those experiences don't happen often, and it's just when it catches you by surprise, and you're like, oh my, and I think those outpouring of emotional outbursts as such, right, is important because they're not planned, they're not expected, and it was so pure and so like
Yeah.
I didn't expect that to happen, man, and it was just like, oh, um, I just think it's so important just to experience those
Yeah.
that it's oh man, it was nice, it was nice.
Amazing.
Royal
I just
Carner,
want to really congratulate you, Andy,
thanks,
because
Hannah.
boys do cry, and it's important to share these things. And
Exactly.
guess what? It's a normal part of
Yeah.
life. And
And I think it's so much, yeah, exactly. It's so much of what I'm trying to encourage with my online clients and the work I'm doing with them and a lot of lads from 16 to 18 and just trying to get them to understand that like you're gonna feel things, you're gonna like they do, right? And there's just such a wall there. It's like, no, I don't. What you on about? You're chatting a load of waffle. I don't feel things. Of course you do, man. Because everyone does.
yeah,
Because I would have been the same when I was 16. I don't believe like shut up, I'm not talking about it. Of course I felt things. You're
bottling
more
something up
suppressed.
is yeah, bottling something up is, the surefire way for it to come out in different ways. If you squash
Anger,
something down,
aggression. Yeah.
yeah, it's going to come out in another way. And if you just know the benefits of crying, like it releases endorphins,
Yeah.
you know, like lads, it's like, yeah. So it's on par with going to the gym. Have a cry
For sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
if the real good
So I
feelings.
should have done that this morning
Well,
instead of going to the gym. That would have been far more interesting
yeah,
than going to the
yes.
gym. So
Stuff your
boring.
half marathon. Just have a sob.
Well, yeah. Honestly, that would have been far more useful for me. But I think, in the same kind of way as Andy, I'm not really a crier. I'm a well-upperer. I well up, but I don't. Crying's not really my thing. If I have more than one tear, I'm good. But I just, but music does it for me, and to the point where sometimes you know where you need a cry. Like,
Mm,
we've me and Andy talked briefly about before about how I've had a quite difficult 12 months. Just,
mm.
not going to go into it, but sometimes I'm like, man, I need to cry, and I will go onto
Yeah.
a specific song because I know every single time that
Gets you.
it will make me cry, and it makes me cry every time, and it's like it's that even though the song isn't necessarily what I'm feeling right now, I know the song makes me cry, and it makes me cry every time, and then it's like, and I feel better after it, and that is so profound and powerful. And actually, like, talking about this yesterday, like I at the end of this half marathon, so I'm 17K in, a half marathon is 21K. I promise this is relevant to music. I changed over. I was listening to podcasts. I changed over to music because there's a few songs that I really like. Kind of, they just kind of, I would say they summarize the feelings I've been having for the last year. And I was like, okay, I've got some energy in the tank. I'm just gonna blaze the last 4 kilometers here, listening to these songs and get all of the energy that I've had to retain in, all of this
Mm.
worry and thought, and it just burst out on this last bit of this race. And it was like, it was just such a profoundly cathartic experience. Of like, you know what, I've
Yes.
got energy. I'm just gonna run to this music and play it literally like overwhelm my head in my headphones because because it's like, and all of that, because I was then summarizing all of the pain that I was in that moment physically because of all the running and this to kind of go fast is obviously very painful, and all of the pain of emotionally the last year and just all of that into the last, and I felt such a release. I feel so much better because I did that, and it's like, and that the music allowed me to harness it in a way that I wouldn't have been able to do idly thinking about and listening to a podcast. And I owe such a debt to those songs. And like, I saw my favorite band play my favorite song last year, and I just started crying. I just started crying through the whole
Yes.
song, and
Love.
I recorded the whole song on my phone. I know people shouldn't film concerts, but like, it's like my favorite song. I just, every time I play it, I cry just because I don't know. It's just it means so much to me. That song and that album and that artist and that moment of like that, yeah, and it's profoundly important, and I think that that's an important part to kind of raise about music as well, is that
Mm.
we talk about music making you feel better and calming you down, but it also allows you to articulate emotions in a way that you cannot necessarily articulate
For
themselves.
sure.
That's what my favorite music does for me. I feel something. It's sometimes quite hard to link emotions to, like, we talked about this thing called emotional granularity, which is linking an emotion to an event, an action, something that's happened, or a thought you've had. It's sometimes quite hard to link those two things, but music gives me the language to do that, and lots of the music I listen to is quite sad, and it gives me the ability to link, to just kind of bathe in that feeling, to understand and give voice to that
Yeah.
feeling I'm feeling inside, and then it also gets it out, as you said, like, and that is such a profound thing to talk about music, because lots of music makes you feel really happy, lots of music makes you feel really down, and that is, both of those things are really good. So
Yeah, and it's not that you need permission to cry, but sometimes it helps.